and welcome back to a brand new Motogp 24 career. Now today we are off to Perth for one of my favourite races of every season. On top of that, we have a Monday test directly after the Grand Prix, which is going to be really exciting. The goal for today's race weekend is just to see if we can topple Brad Bender as the top rider in the team. That'll give us the kind of decision making going into the test on Monday and just allow us to sway the bike in our favour. So really looking forward to getting into this weekend. It's been my most kind of hyped up weekend so far, and to be honest, when I got into it, the pace was actually not as good as I expected. I really mentally wanted to push myself a lot harder and thought I could be quicker. We ended up P4 and half second off, which looks probably better than the way I said it there, but I just felt like I really had to push it and I had to stretch and I had to do so much dialing the bike in. The long corners on the edge of the tire really don't suit our bike, so unfortunately a lot of the middle sector and the last sector as well really just doesn't suit us. Into Q2 directly again though, Enea Bashnini and Zarko follow us through. So coming into qualifying, I was feeling okay, and as we're on here, our fastest lap of the weekend, and it was a really tidy lap, and I was really over limit ever and made sure I extracted the absolute most. I think this is by far the best performance I've put in so far on this KTM this weekend. The pole lap and my race performances were really good, so I really felt like I got the most out of it. But up to the line we come here, we're going to set a 35.2 I believe, and that is the fastest ever lap I've done around that track. And unfortunately I only put a 6, a lot of people improved, so we were slightly lower down on the grid. And unfortunately once again Saturday is a wet sprint, so once again we're going to have to go up against our gremlins. So unfortunately, once again, we have entered into the sprint on Saturday evening, and it is, as you can see, pretty heavy rain. Now, I remembered a lot of things I wanted to try from Texas, so we're going to give it a bit of a whirl and see. Again, I can't guarantee any of it will work. I won't really know till the end of the sprint whether I'm more happy or unhappy with the way we've gone into setting. And yeah, it's just going to be another one of these sprints where we're probably going to go backwards realistically, but we're going to try and cling on as best we can. To get off the line first, it will be critical. Decent. Second initial phase wasn't great. The second phase was better. Right, eyes on Bagnaia. So already we are being packed from behind. Fortunately, again, it doesn't look like we have anything in this wet weather. I still just cannot. I have no front end in this weather at the moment. It's really frustrating. Can't really stick the bike in. You can see we're pretty much wide everywhere, and the Aprilia so far in front and behind are having a field day with me. There we go again. I just don't have the entry speed. So I'm going to do our best to hang on. Feel like a small bit I'm rushing the corner, but that's maybe just because I don't have any. Look at the way Marquez rides up to me in the side of the corner. These long hanging corners. Look, I just cannot get the bike into the corner. It's a zero turning in, and that's where you can see the gaps are growing, and Marquez is just pretty much ridden around the outside of me. I should be able to pick the bike up and keep the inside, but turn in with so much more force and speed. To be honest, by the time we got to Herrera, I was thinking we'd probably have to escape in these wet sprints, but they have followed us, unfortunately. That's right, we're probably going to drop out of the points again in the sprints. There's just nothing I can do with this bike in the rain at the moment. I'm trying different setups. I'm at a loss really at the moment, to be really honest. Over 2 seconds off the fastest laps at the moment being put down by the front guys. Now Miller, who's someone who's usually pretty good in the rain, is trying to get up the inside and has done it into turn 2. So now we're almost out of the points already on lap 4 of 7. Track has dried massively up, so the pace is coming down a lot. But so is everyone around me. You can see we're just not giving up with everyone. I don't have the initial turn in. I'm just struggling so much. Just every corner just missed the apex by quite a margin. I'm pretty much like Bezecchi in Texas, the way he just didn't have the front end with him. Because I'm sacrificing so much on the entrance, my mid corner is worse And then I'm trying to get a great exit, but a lot of times I'm just leaving the door open for people. It's coming up saying flag to flag that we can pit. Don't really think it's wise to do it in this setting, to be brutally honest. I think I'd rather just stay out. But most of the field is agreeing with me. I don't think you'd have enough time to recover. Final lap here. Miller has managed to just pip us, but now the track is pretty much bone dry. I'm actually going a lot faster and I have a bit of speed to use, so again, just shows in the dry conditions this bike works, and in the rain for me I just cannot get a handle on it. Currently out of the points in sprint, so want to get back at Jorge Martin best I can. But I don't think I can now that he's gotten clear track in front of him. So another disappointing sprint. We went P6, P2, back to P10. In the end, in the drying conditions, we managed to set a 39.9. Again, we're kind of holding up the bikes behind us. It's just a shame for some reason. Wet tyres on this bike, and this bike just does not work. Unfortunately, and most seasons, I'd nearly say that's okay. We can suffer for 3 rounds a year and take it. But so far this year, we've had so much rain, which really is a bit of an issue at the moment. So after this race weekend, tomorrow's is the main race, and then on the Monday we'll have our test. So hopefully the bike to bring us there is just better in both wet and dry, because we are lacking in both, mainly in the wet, but we do need something as well for the dry, because I feel like I'm pushing the limit maybe a bit too much to make the lap times just to get into Q2, and we're still not really kind of competitive with the Ducatis over 1 lap, and in the race pace we're okay, but we're kind of riding our luck really in the Sunday races at the moment. So for the main race, we are going fresh soft. The recommended tyre is the medium, but I cannot make it work on the KTM nor the Honda, for a matter of fact. Have to beat Binder. It's the main goal. We can come out as team leaders, supposedly, even though they kind of tell you that. And then the next one is, oh, but if he beats him again, he'll be the team leaders. But yeah, I've already done it. So hopefully, if I can beat him here in today's main race in Jerez, it will be good enough for me to take the lead for KTM into tomorrow's test. It will be critical for me that I can have my pick and choose of what I get and what I want from this bike going forward, because I really feel strong areas, weak areas, I need to make them a little bit better in areas that I need for myself personally. So yeah, it's going to be a tough old race. It's going from start from really hot and go cloudy. I think I'm faster in the real hot temperatures, so we might struggle later in the race, but let's see how we go. Let's get it. Just like in the sprint, looks like the initial getaway isn't special, but the second phase is good. Into P4. Lap 1 done. Quite nervous about this one. Really want a good result here at what I would class as my home race of the season. Fortunately, at the moment, as Acosta shows us the wheel, was trying too hard. You can feel it. Blowing the entry a couple of times. So, not a great lap, that one. And we are slowly dropping off the podium positions. So, nearly halfway into this race now, and front three have continued to pull away. A Marsh Marquez for a lap or two, but my best laps are his kind of race pace laps at the moment, so unfortunately it doesn't look like we're going to be able to have anything for the podium today. Probably just holding these guys back long enough just to stay in front. You can see there's a good few kind of queued up behind, so I imagine if I get overtaken, other riders' pace will come out and you'll see other riders come to the front, but for now we're doing a good enough job just holding on to P4. We're quicker in some sectors, they close in others, but at the moment they don't have enough to pass, which is good. But it could be a bit of a lonely, boring race for me. We begin to start lap 9, fast lap of the race for me, 35.3, almost identical to what we did in qualifying. We're absolutely riding the wheels off. This is the best of ridden this KTM so far this year. We pulled a bit of a gap over the field behind, unfortunately. Not really doing much to the guys in front, but it's been one of those races of all on my own. Bastianini on the Aprilia has gone from leading P3 in only a couple of laps, and we are slightly pulling him in, so we'll see. Maybe the podium isn't on after all. And over pace, we're catching the front two. This has been a really interesting race. Just for me, there's not been much talking, much been going on, but I've been riding so well, and I'm pulling the front two in. Don't know what it means for me yet, but we're definitely catching Bastianini. I think Marquez as well. We have a few laps left. Let's see what we can get at him. So look at that race pace on the right side. 35 after 35 after 35. And we're now nearly with these two. We'll say though, even my own rear turnout is starting to slide a lot more, so I don't know how much I can keep pulling these guys in by. Might see me get a lot of errors come for look as well. Gonna try and keep pushing, see if we can jump these two guys before we potentially get jumped from behind. An ultimate lap now. Running out of laps. We're with them now. Looks like nobody has any tyre left. Up the inside we go. Marquez is wide. He's good through these lefts though. Stadium section. Most famous part of this track, probably. Oh, we try. Oh! The drag race. I genuinely don't know where that went. So as you see, we do end up losing out by order of a 10 to Marquez. I wanted to try it into the last corner, but he was in the middle of the track and we just get caught behind him. Desperately disappointed, but also really happy with that race because if you look at my pace, I'm only a couple of tenths off of Pecco. Fortunately, race pace 6-7 seconds off really isn't good enough, really. But got Bastianini on the last lap. Probably should have got Mark, to be honest. Yeah, thinking back to that last lap, I felt like the last corner was the place, but he just defended it quite well, and we kind of got caught behind him. We managed to turn the lead him, but we just didn't get the run to line, and we let out. And just that GP24 just managed to pip us to the line, unfortunately. So keep the podium streak, and I'm overall pretty pleased with it, but slightly disappointed still. So drop the P4, a couple of points behind Marquez, but overall not too worried. Still very early in this championship, so no major pressure.
Showing us the third place rider. Perhaps he was hoping for a win today, but a podium finish is always something to be proud of. We're live for the podium ceremony where there is an Italian flag flying from the top step. A very clean win in great style. Bagnaia beat his opponents with a clear victory today.
So what a brilliant weekend it has been. We've gotten the team leader role at KTM, which is exactly what we wanted. Extra development, and we've completed Aim at the Sun. So nice bank of resource points for my weekend. So now before the test, we have the option as team leader to pick basically where we want to start putting emphasis into this bike. So I'm going to spend a few minutes, do a bit of thinking, and we'll see what we end up with. So we're going to go with stability. I just feel like at the moment the frame is probably the big weakness. Aero, ECU and engine are pretty decent, just the frame stability is the big one. So we're going to go with that and really just see where that brings us for the other one. So for that, we're going to go the other bike. Probably go aerodynamic load, more aero, more just overall will make a big difference. I think would be probably the best thing to go for. So you can see here now the two statistics of the bike. So set A is control fuel will be slightly better, increase in stability, increase in handling, aerodynamic load and penetration, and big jump in electronics, aero load, handling goes up a lot with spec B. So to be honest, I'm not too sure which will be better. We're going to try out both of them. We're going to spend a bit of time on each, and yeah, let's see how this goes. So as you can see at the end of the test, we did a lot of laps trying to really just figure out which is the way forward. And to be brutally honest, if you look at our fastest lap on spec A, 35.441, spec B 35.542. Very little in it. And to be honest, in a second it's going to ask me which bike I'm going to pick, and I don't actually know right now. So I've been sat on the screen for way too long trying to think of which is better, and I am going to go with spec B just for the argument of that at Jerez it's a very slow technical track, so we probably weren't able to use the extra engine power that we're getting from this bike. This bike also technically is higher handling even though stability is lower, so I think I just want maybe this bike, but I could regret it. But I think in all reality both of these bikes you see in front of them are better than the bike I had for the Grand Prix in Jerez, so hopefully that is the case. So spec B it is. So then that is where we leave episode number 29 of the Motogp 24 career. It's been a bumper action episode really, with all the race action and such a long test. So we're going into there. I hope you have enjoyed. I will see you in a future episode for some more Motogp 24. Thanks for watching. Slán go fóill. Oh,